This isn't just another compound. This may very well be that cure that many male and female androgenetic alopecia sufferers may be looking for, and it could be on the market as soon as 2026. GT20029, hailing from Kintor's state-of-the-art PROTAC platform, is a topical androgen receptor degrader. At its core, PROTAC is a unique molecule that bridges the gap between specific proteins and an E3 ubiquitin ligase, facilitating the degradation of the target protein, that target protein being that androgen receptor. So, ubiquitin is a small protein that can be attached to other proteins in a cell to mark them for degradation. This tagging process signals the cell's waste disposal system, called the proteasome, to break down and recycle the tagged proteins. The process ensures that damaged or unneeded proteins are efficiently removed, helping maintain cellular health and function. But in this case, we're going to be using it to target the androgen receptor. So I just wanted to include a bit more of an explanation of ubiquitin. Its distinctive mechanism means drugs like GT20029 can be highly effective even at minimal dosages. And the best part, the frequency of dosing is significantly reduced in comparison to its counterparts. GT20029 specifically targets the AR protein, the androgen receptor protein. And we actually have some great news in this video, because as of late, August 22nd, 2023, Kintor Pharmaceutical Limited proudly reported the completion of a patient enrollment for Phase 2 clinical study of GT20029, and this marks the beginning of Phase 2 for clinical testing. So Phase 1 essentially determined that GT20029 has some safety data and is, as of now, doesn't pose a major health risk to people that are exposed to it. Now, with all this talk about clinical trials, I think it would be useful to have a bit of a refresher on the clinical trial process and their purpose. Clinical trials traditionally occur in 4 phases. Phase 1 primarily evaluates the safety and tolerability of a drug. Phase 2 assesses its efficacy and determines optimal dosages. Phase 3 broadens the scope with larger patient groups and compares the drug to current treatments. So in this case, GT20029 compared to finasteride, compared to minoxidil, compared to dutasteride, and if it comes out, compared to Breezula or clascoterone for androgenetic alopecia. And finally, Phase 4 occurs post-market to monitor long-term effects. So by then, the drug is already on the market. So if GT20029 can get past Phase 2 and successfully get into Phase 3, I think that is, well, I don't have to say I think, that is a great sign for the projection of the drug and it coming to the market. Now, let's talk about the study design of Phase 2 clinical trial for GT20029. Now, this Phase 2 will be taking place in China. We still have to wait for the Phase 2 to start in the United States of America, but Phase 2 will be taking place in China as of now. Phase 2 clinical testing of GT20029 is a multi-center randomized double-blind placebo-controlled clinical trial. The objective is to evaluate the efficacy and safety of GT20029 for treating male androgenetic alopecia patients in China. It also seeks to determine recommended dosages for Phase 3 clinical trial. The trial involves a total of 12 clinical research centers in China. The lead investigator, or doctor, would be Professor Yang Qingping, hopefully I said that right, from Fudan University, Hushan Hospital. And the primary endpoint of what they're trying to see, the point of efficacy that would prove to researchers if GT20029 works, is the change from baseline in non-vellus target area hair counts after 12 weeks of treatment in comparison to placebo. So to demystify that, they want to see if GT20029 actually grows hair in people that actually use this topical gel or whatever compound that this is going to be existing in. They want to see if that actually gives more hair growth than their placebo group, or a group that isn't even going to be getting the actual treatment. So we can see that this study design is structured to provide a robust assessment of GT20029's potential effectiveness and safety for treating androgenetic alopecia, with controls in place to ensure unbiased results. So let's get a quick explanation. I know I do this a lot, but I want people who don't really follow these kinds of topics to actually have an understanding. But let's get a quick explanation of what some of those terms that I said actually mean. So multi-center. The trial is conducted in multiple research centers or hospitals, rather than just one location, and this helps in gathering diverse data and ensures the findings aren't specific to one place. There is a degree of randomization. Participants are randomly assigned to either the treatment group receiving GT20029 or the control group, usually receiving just some sort of solution that doesn't actually contain the compound or the drug that we're trying to research. For efficacy or hair growth. Double blind. Now, double blind means neither the participants nor the researchers know who is receiving the treatment and who is receiving the placebo or the fake treatment. This approach prevents biases in recording outcomes and ensures the study's results are based purely on the effects of the treatment. Now, I mentioned this part before, but we have placebo-controlled. Now, what this means is that one group receives the actual drug, which in this case it will be GT20029, while another group receives a placebo, a substance with no therapeutic effect, often referred to as a sugar pill. But it's not a sugar pill in this case, it's just some sort of topical solution that doesn't have any sort of drug inside of it. Comparing these groups help determine the drug's actual effectiveness and ensures observed results are not due to chance or some random physiological effect, but actually the drug itself. Now, every clinical trial has an objective. The main aim of this phase 2 clinical trial for GT20029 is to see how well it works in treating male androgenetic alopecia or male pattern baldness. Additionally, the researchers want to figure out the best dosage to use in a larger phase 3 trial. So in simple terms, the phase 2 clinical trial is designed to thoroughly test GT20029's effectiveness and safety in treating male androgenetic alopecia. By having multiple centers using a randomized and double-blind approach and comparing to a placebo, researchers aim to get a clear, unbiased understanding of the drug's potential benefits.
Shut up and take my money!
So when will GT20029 actually come out? Well, if the phase 2 results prove positive, it could pave the way for phase 3 trials, where the drug will be tested on an even larger cohort to ascertain its effectiveness, potential side effects, and comparison against existing treatments. And I think that's going to be the most exciting part about this whole entire clinical trial process of GT20029, actually getting to see how well it stacks up against finasteride and even minoxidil. I think that would be fantastic, so we can actually get a clearer picture of, hey, this is how effective this new class of drugs for treating androgenetic alopecia is. This topical anti-androgen, but also it's a PROTAC that degrades androgen receptors. This is entirely a new class of drugs for androgenetic alopecia treatment. When reflecting on earlier achievements, Kintor Pharma successfully completed phase 1 trials for GT20029, at least when looking at phase 1 clinical trials that concluded in the United States of America, initiated on June 23, 2022, and concluded by August 14, 2023. The phase 1 spanned just over a year. If the current phase 2 follows a similar time frame, we can expect its conclusion to be around September of 2024. Hopefully sooner, but I think September of 2024 is reasonable. This would potentially set the stage for a phase 3 trial to commence towards the end of 2024 or early 2025. Now, depending on the scale and the results, phase 3 could span 2 or 3 years, estimating its conclusion between 2026 to 2027, but that is just my view on these things, because you have to understand with phase 3 we're going to be doing a bit more robust research. We want to see how well this drug stacks up against other drugs. We want an even larger patient population size so we can get a better idea of side effect profiles, if there are any side effects, and to see how well it regrows hair in men with varying degrees of androgenetic alopecia and different Norwood scales. Now, I've already made a couple of videos on GT20029 as well as Kintor Pharma's other drug that's currently in clinical trials, purilitamide KX826, I think that's the number ending portion of it, but you can check out those videos in the description below, along with a link to my community Discord, where we talk about things concerning androgenetic alopecia and other scientific research. So, if you're interested in that, check out the description. And yeah, thanks for watching. A bit of a quick video because of the news. I wanted to just brief the channel to let everyone know about this this good thing. Again, this is a phase 2 clinical trial for GT20029 occurring in China. So hopefully we get that phase 2 process here in the United States of America, because I know a lot of people are a bit more big on the United States FDA's approval of products rather than other countries, even European countries, even South Korea sometimes. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. If you got to this point of the video, comment down below blueberries. Yep, a random comment at the end of the video like we always do to see who got to the end of the video. Okay, I don't want to hold up your time. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.